Alright, YouTube, what's up? Do all high school sweethearts think the same? I don't know about y'all, but when I date a girl, I think about a long term, and so when I get a girl eventually in high school, I kind of want it to be my one and only. You feel me? You feel me?
It was love at first sight.
Hmm.
2, 1.
Ooh.
Ah.
I saw him in a grocery store when I was 15.
I saw her and she was a, customer, and I was a stock boy, and so I stalked her to aisle 8, the cheese aisle. So yeah, I totally fell in love with her.
Damn.
The whole entire school year, I sat right next to him, and I didn't say not one word to him. One of the last days of school, we were just doing our work, and he started singing. So I actually fell in love with his voice before before anything.
It took us 2 years for us to start dating, so.
We've known each other like for so long, since second grade. I mean, I had several crushes on her like growing up.
Fifth grade, I remember I really had a crush on him, but then my attraction towards him like wavered throughout the years. But I think it was more of like a feeling that like the feeling of love towards him was like kind of always there.
For us, we were 15, sophomore year of high school. We sat in like diagonals. We would like always look at each other and make eye contact from across the room, but nobody like pursued anything. So that's why it kind of went to somewhat, because it was always there, but we didn't actually act on it until later on.
I said,
Bro, I still never had a girlfriend. I'm 16 and I still never had a girlfriend.
I love you first. 3, 2, 1.
Bro, listen, never tell a girl you love her until like shit like y'all know. Don't tell a girl you love her
Inspiration
until
is
like
just flowing and
you really
coming.
feel it. And even if you really do, say like after like 8 months of dating.
It's 30 years ago, you know.
Yep. I said it. Yep. And then she said it right after, so I said it first, so.
I don't know. It caught me off guard, honestly. Like I was like, "What? Oh, I love you."
Excuse me.
I definitely said it first, and then I remember I was like, "Did you hear what I just said?" Because she wasn't saying anything at all. I was like, "Oh no," and then you're like, "Yeah, I love you too."
I think I loved her first, but I didn't say it first. I think she said it first.
I probably did, but I just don't remember.
I'm more
The
reserved, so
moment.
I wouldn't have said it first.
You're never too young to fall in love.
Hell yeah, you too.
3, 2,
Hell yeah.
1.
Hell yeah. If a 9-year-old boy falls in love, does he really know what love is? If a 7-year-old girl falls in love, does she really know what love is? Cause she be watching like all these like romantical fucking Disney movies like, oh my god, Prince Charming, oh my god, fucking this and that, all the princes, like, oh my god, they fucking, I love them. Then she meets a boy, realize, oh my god, I love him. Do you love him, or do you just think he's cute? Come on, let's be honest here. You feel what I'm saying?
Too
I
young.
think at like 13, maybe 14, you could like really say, oh, I love this guy, I love this girl. You feel me?
It's like, I don't know, 5, 6, before you really understand what love is. But once you like old enough to like start thinking about having like a boyfriend, girlfriend situation, like I think then you start to understand what love is, and like that feeling that you get inside your chest.
I agree, so I'm gonna move over here. I feel like the reason I was there was because I was thinking like super young, but obviously no 6-year-old's gonna be falling in love.
Yeah.
But I feel like for me, one of the struggles has been like losing the stigma of like being too young to be in love, where people are like, oh, you don't know, like you don't really know. But I feel like it's a feeling and you feel it. And it doesn't matter how old you are, if you met the person that you're in love with, then you're in love with that person.
I always saw myself marrying
up on Disney and like,
see what I mean?
I always, thought like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna meet the love of my life in high school. I'm like,
You see what I mean? You see what I mean? You see? Now you see what I mean?
head in the clouds,
Yeah, I agree. I'm a romantic, so I always wanted to marry like my high school sweetheart. I was always like, I hope I fall in love young and meet somebody. And then I was lucky enough to have it happen.
My parents taught me growing up, they had always said, like make yourself established first, get a job, and then you can find somebody. So I think that's kind of why I'm here right here in the disagree.
I just distinctly remember like conversations with her. I want to marry you, blah blah blah. Like not really understanding the weight of that.
Here's the thing. When your parents and when your dad, right? Because you mainly have the girl talk with your dad and your homeboys and shit, right? Don't listen to this. When you start getting money and when you start being successful, then look for girls. Hell no, do not do that. That is the worst advice ever. Look for a girl now. Hold on. Look for a girl when you've worked on yourself and you're confident in yourself and you love yourself, because you can't love anybody else if you don't love yourself. So simply put, don't look for a girl until you love yourself, until you like yourself, until you have nothing to be insecure about, until you have confidence. This also go for girls, too, you know what I'm saying? Work on yourself and shit until, you know what I'm saying? Until you just like, you think you're perfect. Until you think you could do it now. Until you love yourself, right? Just keep on working on yourself till you love yourself. Don't become successful and get money and then look for people, because then they're just gonna use you. Come on, think smarter, not harder.
But at the same time, it's like when you have something so perfect right in front of you, why would you mess with anything else?
All of my family, they all met in high school, married their high school sweetheart. So it wasn't that it was foreign to me, but I knew when I met him, when I would write his name on my peachy folder, that's when it kind of came alive for me.
I didn't think I would be married at 21, which is a really young age.
Damn.
Plans changed, and we decided that we were going to get married.
21? 21? You still a kid at 21. Motherfuckers still call you a kid at 21. At 21 you got married? That's crazy.
At 21, and she was 19.
I mean, like boys in high school were always like not the best, like it's just like it's young, like we're so young. Like I was like, am I gonna marry this guy? Like I don't know. When I was in high school, I did have that feeling like I'm gonna marry him. Like even though we weren't together, I was like, I have a feeling like at the end of this, like I was gonna marry him. We're not married yet, but so eventually.
There was a time in the past where I thought we might break up. 3, 2, 1.
Check it. Fuck, what was I gonna say? Hold on, I need to rewind because I forgot what I was gonna say.
Him, like, even though we weren't together, I was like, I have a feeling like at the end of this.
Oh, got it.
Where I thought we might break
Check
up.
it. Let me up
3.
a bit. Check it. To my guys, because girls don't make the first move at all, so it's up to my guys. Look, you need to make the first move on any girl you're interested in. You see a girl walking down the hallway in school, you see a girl in your class you like, go up and talk to her, please. Even if it doesn't work out, bro, it's still really good to do it because it shows improvement. So go up to girls you're interested in and talk to them. It might work out, it might not. But even if it doesn't work out, it shows that you're improving on something, right? You know what I'm saying?
being in a relationship for a long
And so that will help you down the line when you want to talk to more girls.
time, everyone gets in fights, and that's like a healthy and kind of negative part of a relationship. But personally, I view fights and arguments as kind of like building together with us. Like, yeah, there were times where we had, you know, pretty heavy arguments, but I think deep down I knew that we were still going to make it together.
I feel like we went from being children to being adults together. Obviously, there's going to be problems. You have to figure that out along the way. And I think that being at the breaking point, being like, I don't know if I can do this anymore, but then still choosing to be together is what makes you strong and is what makes you realize, like, this is the person, because a lot of people tend to give up. But I never wanted to give up, and I was like, no, like, I want him and only him.
This is my fellas again. If a girl tells you, oh, she's going through a hard time and she needs a break from you, she doesn't want you anymore. She doesn't want you anymore. Because if that was real and she was telling the truth, she would want you to comfort her. She would want to cry in your arms. She would want to be with you at that moment and just talk about shit. She wouldn't want to fucking leave you. Let's be honest here.
I was a little shocked when Guardio told me about 10 different information leaks with which I had associated accounts.
Why are you standing over there?
I would always say, like, I had so much growing up to do when I was younger, just like mental health wise and just everything that I just felt like I was a burden to you, or that I was like causing you a lot of pain, you know, like, oh my God, I don't want to cry. But, you know, like just being a negative energy in your sphere. So I thought, you know, it's better for me just not to be with you so you could be happier. But then I stuck it through, you stuck through. That's the amazing part. It's like you stuck through, and you, like, even through all my ups and downs, you're always there to get me through it, and just were always there, even though I was just like, could be really mean or it could be very negative. But now we're in a better place where you've like taught me how to grow and stuff. So that's why I was like strongly agree, because not because it was never anything you did, it was more for me to like find myself and not have to hurt you in the process.
I mean, for our first year, it was rough. Like, we were just like ships passing in the night. I mean, he was full-time working, full-time in college. I was going to school, working, and the challenges of being, you know, young new parents. And it was just, it was a rough first year. And I think there was a point where we both, I think that we both kind of thought, like, are we going to make this?
There was one distinct night where we fought so bad because, I mean, it was just a boiling point where our first son, I had his right hand, she had his left hand, and we were tugging at him. He's going with me. No, he's going with me. But we didn't want to leave because we wanted to be with our son. So that night we actually stayed. And that was like a defining moment where, like, okay, we're going to work this out because we have to work it out for our family.
Building a family is an important part of our relationship to me. 3, 2, 1.
I do want kids. Of course I want kids.
I mean, for me, this is a no-brainer. I mean, growing up, I always had this dream of like, I'm gonna have this big family, and it's almost like I just feel like I'm living out this dream. I mean, I know it sounds so simple, but
damn,
it is
good-ass
literally
stretch.
having children. I mean, we've had a lot of losses also. Sorry. Yeah, we've had 4 children here. We have 4 in heaven. And for us, it was never easy to get pregnant. And when we did, it was such a gift. Sorry, I don't mean to be so emotional, but my kids, my grandkids, now we have a daughter-in-law. I mean, it literally makes my heart so happy when I see them when they walk through the door. I mean, I feel like those are some of our happiest times, just when our children and our family is all together. It's amazing.
That is truly inspiring in so many ways.
All right, you didn't have to zoom in on the Asian girl. Like, it wasn't like her moment. It was their moment. You didn't have Let's just have some, sincerity here, man. Let's just, you know what I'm saying? Come on.
Like, I truly want to be like, you want to grow up. Like, right now, at the moment, like, you are my family.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I've always
Okay.
had a big family.
Yeah.
So that's something
I'm
that
not gonna lie. This is kind of pissing me off as a single person. I kind of get mad about this shit.
I've always inspired to have. And I couldn't imagine doing that with anyone else besides you.
Okay, now they just made it about themselves. Like, you just had like a little heartbreaking moment there, and now it's like, I'm skipping this part, man. I'm about to pass out.
About our futures, like
Of
how
the
do we
anger of
break any
couples.
generational curses and all that stuff. Yeah, and just become the parents that have really healthy relationships with our kids, and so that's what I'm super excited for in the future. Yeah.
Obviously, we live with our families, so our family relationship is based on them. But I want to build one with you, and like obviously, like I'm so in love with him. Like, how could I not want to have a kid?
I swear to God, bro. I love love. I want a girl, bro. I want to shower a girl in affection and love, man. I want to cuddle for hours watching fucking movies and shit, man. But seeing this shit as a single motherfucker is is infuriating me. Like, I'm about to go ballistic, bro. I'm about to I was about to say something out of pocket.
With
I was about
him,
to say something out of pocket.
So like, I want to have a family. Like, have my kids' names picked out already. Like, I've been there.
Kind of have our own identity.
Yeah.
I want to name my I want to name my son Vin Diesel. Aberton Lincoln the 23rd. What you talking
This
about, boy?
is my favorite time in our relationship. 3, 2, 1.
Burrito. Who's he running to? Who's he running to?
Fast relief with Tums. It's time to love food.
What is up with this romance shit, man? What is she doing?
We recently went through a rough patch. We're like on the up now, but I feel like we're still there, kind of. We're still trying to work through it. So I feel like we've had better moments, but I'm glad that it did happen because now it's only going to make us stronger and we're only going to go up from here.
Yeah, and I'm gonna go with just the cliche answer that, every moment is my favorite moment with her, regardless of whether we're mad at each other or happy.
Oh, look
It's
at
just
this
always
motherfucker,
my
man.
favorite.
Look at this dude. If you don't shut up, I will track you down and find you. And I will kidnap you. Shut up. Making me mad.
We've like lived in the same hometown for like years, especially like after college, and this past September we finally moved in together, and that was like the biggest milestone for us. We're like, finally, like we don't have to travel 10 minutes to see each other every time or like sleep over at each other's house, but now we get to live together and like experience like every moment together, whether it's like going to the restroom, like sleeping together.
fuck with sleepovers?
But like it's just like I get to spend every time with him, and so I think that's like helped our relationship so much. We get to like experience.
That was crazy. I never slept over a friend's house. The only person's house I slept over at was my cousin's, but I never slept over at a friend's house.
Life together, and I think that's just such
And
a
he
fun
never
and
slept over
happy
at
moment,
mine.
and I think it could only go up from here.
34 years together is a long time, so there's a lot of different phases that we went
34.
through. Like we still have 2 kids at home, and now
34, no cheating?
2 kids are out. But when we had like the 4 kids at home and just a family, it was just so incredible. And now it's just another phase where it's just we have a lot more time together and we can do a lot of fun stuff. But
They finna get crazy. We gotta know what he mean by a lot of fun stuff. He finna get crazy.
But it's kind of
What are
hard
you
to
talking
to
about?
discount all that other hardships and some of the really cool things that we did in the past.
There is nothing that tops that feeling of when all your children are in, with their home, or like recently we just had a dinner when all our kids were there, and oh, it's good.
Yeah.
Right now, we are same like going through a little rough path with my family issue. So I think we spend lesser time
racist?
from what we used to have with each other.
His family a
And
little
I'm
racist.
so happy like we are able to come here today.
Oh,
And
yeah.
we're in California because we're not from Cali. So like getting the chance to like travel and just like live in the moment, and
Yeah.
we have so much more coming and so many more memories that we can make. But right now, at the moment, at the point of our lives, we have some stuff we gotta work out, you know.
yeah.
But at the end of the day, it's more memories, and
Oh yeah.
we're gonna get through it. So.
This was a good video, but I'm still mad because, you know, I'm single. So it's